Holy cow. What's going on up there? Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh no. It's getting weird up there. Should I try and jump? I fell off. Oh no. Yeah, but mine's run away. It's gone. Okay, what you're about to see is some testing footage of our new hover platforms. Now, I just wanted to let you guys know they're highly experimental, so all sorts of crazy stuff is going to happen. So why don't you check it out? And if you like what you're seeing and you want to know how to do some of these things, check out my new course. Link is in the description. Anyway, check it out. Oh, wait, stop. I see you. Stop. Yeah. Are you backing up? All right, go ahead and land. All right. So I want to build this thing into a monstrosity. Okay. I got a bed. That's good. Oh, wait. I don't think I can build here unless I'm your friend. So hang on. I'm going to join you. So we have the team system set up. Well, we're trying to make it crazy big. Did you not put a doorway down here? Let's put a doorway. Yeah, we need to put a doorway. We're somewhere we haven't built. Okay, cool. Oh, do I gotta build a bed? Are we heading towards him? Do double highs at a time. Double highs and triple highs. Oh no, I'm gonna die. I don't know where I'm gonna go. Oh, I just died. Alright, let's go. Here we go. No, get on. Come on, let's go. Ewan, where are you at? All right, now let's see if we can build to each other. I'm gonna... Don't shoot me. Are you coming to me or what? I need to get some high ground, it looks like. That's not glitches. It's part of the... That's... Oh my gosh. Holy cow. What's going on up there? Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh no. It's getting weird up there. It's getting weird. Hey, okay. Can... Where are you? Oh no, you can't get back onto your raft. I can't. Where are you? Are you off? All right. Oh no. Let me get going. We're just gonna be in. Then we'll fly. Oh, I fell off. Oh no. Yeah, but mine's run away. It's gone. There goes. She's gone forever. Let me aboard. Okay, I see him. I'm between you guys. All right. Let's get all these connected. I need like 1 million floors. Oh my gosh, you're coming to me. I'm a ways up here. Where am I? Oh boy. You're a ways back there. All right, now this is a platformer. Are we connected? Whoa! Should I try and jump? Oh, you can put a helm up here to control it. Well, we got to be on the same team, though. You're. Hey, what's going on, man? Whoa. Those turns will get you. Oh, we're back. Hey, welcome. Oh, you did? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so let me address a few things right away. Number one's the art. So, as you can see in front of me, I have buildings that look very similar to what the hover vehicles look like. And these are the static buildings that are in the world, and you can tell that because they have posts that are going into the ground. Now, the hovercraft and these buildings eventually are going to have their own art. I'll probably keep the same art for these buildings because I like them, but the hover vehicles, they're going to have more rounded features. So instead of giant cubes flying through the air, you'll have what looks like a vehicle flying through the air. That'll require some custom artwork, and I don't have the budget for that right now. So the buildings and the hover vehicles are going to share the same art. The other thing is, if you noticed when the vehicles were flying, they kind of seemed cartoonish. The physics were a little goofy, and that's because there was no real weight associated with them, at least not the proper weight. So as time goes on, I will fine-tune that a lot better so the movement seems heavier, so they're not jumping all and bouncing all around. The other thing is, at least by default, there will be some limits on how far, and how high, and how wide you can build to prevent you from doing things like going through the map or colliding with inside mountains and other strange things. I'll probably allow users to set their own servers to whatever they want. So if they want to have crazy, chases like you saw, jumping between different vehicles, then so be it. If that's what you want, you can do that on your own server. And since this game will be a listen server and not a dedicated server, you could set that up pretty easy. It'll just be a configuration option. So let me just go ahead and build one of these from scratch real quick and kind of talk to you about it and show you all the mechanics. So first off, to make one of these, obviously you'd craft it. Okay, by default, you just get this platform. It's 8 chunks. I'll probably keep them 8 chunks by default for now. Maybe they'll be different sizes, but this is expandable, and I'm going to show you that. So you craft it, get it into your inventory slot, come outdoors, hopefully, and then just drop it down wherever you want. Doesn't have to be the roadway, just wherever. Then you'd craft a helm. I already have one in my inventory, so I'm not going to worry about that. And the helm, it can go anywhere you want. You can pilot this vehicle from wherever you want, and you can have as many helms as you want, which is kind of neat. So if you have a first floor and you have a 20th floor, you can fly the thing from wherever you want. We're going to have some VFX that are going to be underneath this thing, and of course sound effects too. So when it lifts off, it actually seems like it's flying and that there's some propulsionary force making this thing lift. So it'll have a reason for moving the way it moves. You can drive this thing just about anywhere you want, as long as the inclines don't get too crazy. I'm going to have it so that way the road, though, is going to be, maybe that'll be a faster route, but regardless, you can take it wherever you want. The unique thing about the road, though, is, as you can see, the autopilot indicator right above the inventory, the hotbar is flashing, and that's to say you can press spacebar, and then the thing moves on its own. As you saw, we were doing all those chases, and you can stay locked in like this, or you can eject from the helm and then you can go into your view here and then do whatever you want to do. You can build on the base, as you saw, or you can fight, you can shoot from this vehicle, do whatever you want. Okay, and to demonstrate how this floor here is expandable, you can simply take the foundations that are normally used to build, say, a ground structure. So the same thing you used to do this, you can just come right over here, plop it on there, and it removes, here, it automatically removes that foundation piece so that it is hovering. So it is another unique floor piece. So I'm going to just expand this a little bit. Okay, so now I've just added one floor piece around the entire thing, and you can see that it's just hovering there. There's no floor braces, supports, and then you can just build on this like you would any other floor pieces. So here's one of my favorite parts about the game so far. Here we are in our room with our nice cozy bed and our desk, you know, just being peaceful. But here I open the door, I come out onto the bridge and realize, oh my gosh, we're actually traveling through the world. Check this out. The whole time we're in our rooms, maybe we're crafting, leveling up, somehow improving our character, maybe we're enriching resources. We will have NPCs that will be allies that you'll recruit. They're called engineers, and they'll be working on these various processors. They won't just be food. So it's going to be really neat. As your lower level, maybe you'll have to be, you know, worried about maintaining your ship, because the ship, as it will hover platform, as it travels through the world, is going to be getting bombarded by various enemy NPCs. But as you level up, the ship will get stronger and stronger, and you won't have to worry about repairing it. Now you'll have defensive capabilities too. We're going to have turrets and things like that you can mount on the outside of the ship, and you'll be able to put it wherever you want. And so that'll encourage you to invest in various weapon systems and to allow you to travel farther and farther. So the question you ask is, well, where am I traveling to? What's the point of this travel? Well, you're going to be transporting goods that you've mined, and we'll have various containers. And you're going to be transporting those goods into cities from your various mining locations. So basically the countryside is going to be really, really dangerous. There's going to be all sorts of different things that are attacking you out there. And then you're going to be driving these resources into the city that need them for whatever reason. Haven't worked all the details out. And along the way, you'll come across various bases where the enemy NPCs will be holding these engineers. And these engineers are going to be the people that you can basically free, and then you can choose to hire them, and then they can come aboard your ship and work on whatever. Maybe they'll be able to repair your ship as it gets attacked, or maybe they'll just be enriching these resources. And they'll also be able to defend you. So if for whatever reason NPCs get aboard one of these things, they can help defend your area. So you're not, you don't have to do it all on your own. But of course, they can die, and you do pay for them. So they won't do all of the work for you. They are an investment. And if they go down, you'll probably have to do some mission to go retrieve them from one of these enemy bases that will be throughout the world. So I want to go into a little bit of a technical discussion about how I handled some of the things like, you know, jumping in the air and actually coming down where you jumped off from and not flying back and hitting the wall. I don't know if you've ever played Ark or anything like that, but if you're on one of their rafts and you jump up in the air, you'll just fly back and hit a wall because your character's not, you know, doesn't have any velocity like they should in real life. If you're on an airplane and you jump up in the air, you don't fly to the back of the plane, you know, and die. No, you're carrying the same velocity as the aircraft is, and likewise here. So there's a lot of custom logic that had to go in there to fix that issue that Ark, I think, still has. Another thing was movement on platforms is very strange by default in Unreal, so I had to do some custom logic there. I had to there was a real bad glitch where if you were moving in the opposite direction, your collision would get weird, and you could actually walk through one of these walls. So if, you know, the platform's moving this way and you went this way, you would just go right through that wall. There were two major things I had to do to get movement on this platform to be better than it was. And those two major things is, number one, I actually attach the character to the platform once they jump on it. So once they jump on the platform, they are technically attached. And there is there's a trace going on at every such an interval that detects, hey, am I over a hover platform and should I be attached to it? And that logic will fire off. Now, the problem with attaching yourself to a platform is in Unreal, when you attach to things, the character's movement component doesn't expect you to also be moving. It anticipates that once you attach that you're going to be stationary. And I didn't want that. What I wanted to do is say, well, I want to be attached to this component so that way I inherit everything, the velocity, and that's the real secret. I would inherit the velocity and everything else if I'm physically attached to this thing, but I wanted the relative offset of whenever I'm moving around. So what that required me to do was to have custom logic within the character movement component. Now the character movement component comes in the character class by default, and if you know how Unreal is laid out, you have your game's logic, and then you have the engine's code. And so and I don't want to confuse anybody, because you can have Blueprint, you can have your game's code, and then you can have your engine's code. And whenever you start touching the engine code, it can really turn into a headache, because every time you upgrade the engine, you have to remember to go into the class, the engine class that you modified, and then update that code. And that can be really tedious. So what I wanted to do was have a way to change the character's movement component without having to modify the engine. And I found a really cool trick on how to do it, and it was more than just overriding some virtual functions. So let me show you what I did. So for the most part, Unreal does a really good job of marking all the important functions virtual, which means that in the child classes, so take the character class, for example, you could override a lot of the common functions. So take begin play or event tick. You can easily override those because they're marked virtual. Well, sometimes you might need to override, say, a component. That's a little more complicated. And I didn't want to mess with changing engine code, because, as I've said, every time you update the engine, if you change the engine code, you'll have to remember, oh, I got to go back and modify that file. So rather than do that, I use what's called the object initializer call in the constructor, and I'm able to override the default movement component. So here, let's take a look right here. Just to give some context, I am in my base character class, which inherits from a character. And here is what my constructor looks like. Notice the object initializer here, that's the key. I'm going to go over to my C++ file. And as you can see in here, I call set default subobject class. I have my custom movement component right here, and then the character's movement component name that we're overriding. So this right here is really cool. So now, instead of touching the character movement component and messing with engine code, I can just have my own code, my own class right here. So one of the big problems that I've run into while trying to find some art that works for this hover platform has been finding stuff that looks good both on the exterior and interior. So this stuff I think looks good. I just don't necessarily think it's appropriate for a flying vehicle. I want something with more angle so it doesn't look like I have a giant block flying around. So if you happen across anything, give me a heads up. Put a link in the description. I'll check it out, and I'll see if it might suit my needs. But a lot of the stuff you run across, let's say it looks nice on the interior, but on the exterior, there'll be like no thickness to it. They'll just have a bunch of walls that are planes, which means, you go to the side and there's nothing there. So that won't work. Or you'll have a great like spaceship kit, but there's almost no and I challenge you to look for this, there's almost no assets that are ships that have a detailed interior. You'll see a couple of them, but it might just be a cockpit or a very small cargo area, but nothing you could say, oh, this is a ship I could walk around in and have a gunfight in. It's very, very limited. And on top of that, you know, add to that something you could actually build on. That's even harder. So this will be one area that I might actually hire somebody out eventually once there's a budget. There's no budget quite yet to make something a lot more angular that works. But the great part is the logic's there. The coding that takes forever is there. I just need to get a good artist, which, you know, is a lot harder than you'd think. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it for now. If you have any suggestions on art, I'd love to hear it. Let me know what you think about the whole flying hover base in general. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe.